In ancient Japanese culture, the crane is said to be a mystical animal, kind of like a dragon, and it's said that it lives for 1,000 years. It's also said that if you make 1,000 of these paper cranes, you get a wish. Today I'm going to show you one of the techniques for folding these origami paper cranes. It's my personal favorite, though there's a few different ones out there. You're going to start off with origami paper, and the type you're most likely to find at your craft store or local hobby outlet is going to be about 15 centimeters in square length. That's fine. They're big. They're going to get cumbersome for this project, so I like the ones that are about 7.5 centimeters or about 3 inches. Best way to get those are either order them, find a place that stocks them, or buy the bigger ones and take a paper guillotine to them if you happen to be lucky enough to have one or know somebody who does. For today's demonstration, I'm going to use the regular larger ones, not because I like them better, but because I think it'll be easier for you to see what we're actually doing. And like I said, this is just one of many ways you can go online, use your search engine, put in paper origami cranes, folding techniques, something like that. You're bound to find quite a few under the images. Now, I've already folded this one just to make it a wee bit easier on us, and I've unfolded it. You're going to start off, and many of these are going to be colored on both sides. Some of them will just have color on one side, white on the other. If you've got one with a white back to it, start off with the white facing towards you, so that when you fold it, and you're going to fold it diagonally, so you've got a triangle, that way we see the color on the outside, and this is going to be what we're using. Fold it once so that you've got the triangle going. Then you're going to fold it again so you wind up having a smaller triangle. Now, while your ends and creases and everything else don't have to be perfect, remember, you're doing this because you want to make a wish. This should be something important to you, and if it's important enough to do, it's important enough to do well. You've gotten both of those done. You're going to wind up, and this is going to be the little bit trickier part. You've got the triangle, open it up, and fold it down. So you've got a diamond shape going on, or square, depending on your perspective. You saw that? You've got the triangle. Take the tip from up here, bring it down to the bottom. And I'm doing this backwards. You're going to want to keep the open end towards you. Flip it over. Do the exact same thing. Bring it up, and for this you may want to crease it over to the other side just to make it easier on yourself. And then fold it down, popping the sides out to the end. And once again, you've got a little diamond or square, but you're going to have the open side towards you, closed end pointed away. You'll have a seam right down the center. What you want to do now, take one of the edges, bring it up and fold it in so that you've got the edge of the paper right against that seam. Do the same on the other side, and you're only taking one part of the paper. You're leaving the other ones for the other side. So you've got a little kite formation. See? You're going to flip it over. Same thing on this side. Bring them up. Bring the side into the center. And now we can definitely see that kite going on. Whee! Take the top part now, fold it down so you've got a nice crease right where the line's going to be. Other side, do the same thing. Fold it once again. This is going to be a crease to help you figure out where you're going with your next step. Next step is going to be to open these up, just the one side, and pull that up. That's where that crease is helping us out. And now you're going to have a real long diamond shape going on. Flip it over. Same thing on this side. Opening it up. Bring it along. And we've got that beautiful diamond. Now, you should be able to open it up facing you, and you'll see where we've got the start of a couple of wings. This is going to be the neck and the tail. So, how are you going to make the neck? See how this opens? I want you to take that, open it up a bit, and then you're going to, maybe about, well, depends on what size of paper you're using. You'll get a feel for it, but you're going to bring it up just like that. Normally, I like the neck to be flush against this little line that we've got going on. It's just how I like to do them. It gives it more of an upright neck. For the actual head, we're going to take it, open this area up, and fold that down. It's going to want to fold in on itself, and that's exactly what we want it to do. See that? Start off that way, bring it open, down, flipped in on itself, and you got a nice little head. For the tail, normally I like it to go out a bit more. Where this one was flush, we're going to have this one off at a little bit of an angle. Personally, I just think it makes a little bit more of a crane-like appearance. And for the wings, go ahead, fold them down. You can either just fold them flat, or I like to add a little bit of curl to mine. So bring them along, curl them down, and your end result, you've got a little crane. A goose. Other thing I like about this style. Yeah, this one's being obstinate. But yes, they can flap their wings with this. Anyway, that's one of the many different ways of folding crane. Like I said, my favorite, it's just the way that I happen to do most of them. But onto the wish part of it. You're going to need to make 1,000 of these. All by yourself. You can't get help from friends. You can't wind up having somebody that did 500 of them decide they didn't want to do the rest and pass them off to you. This is going to be all 1,000 made by you. Each one made with the intention of your wish. Have the wish in your head and put it into each of the little cranes. Otherwise, you're just doing it mindlessly. You're kicking on the television. You've got it down so mechanically. You're just folding them, forgetting about what you're doing. That's no way to do it. If this is a wish that's important to you, it's important you do it right. Also, you have to do it within 1 year from the start date. Whenever you wind up starting with your first crane, you've got 1 year to complete them all. Which, it can go by fast. Don't be slacking on that. For me, I started mine back in November. It's the end of December now. I've got 600 of them done. I would have had a bit more, but I've had a lot of things come up in the past few weeks and want to get back to them very soon. I wanted to get this video out, though, because I gave my family 500 paper cranes, little not folded ones, little 500 sheets of origami paper. So I gave each of them half a wish. It's on to them to learn how to do it. Hopefully this video helps with that. Hopefully a few of you out there are doing it on your own. When it comes to wishes, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Be careful if you're wishing for $1 million and you want to win it in the lottery. Hey, that's great, but know that wishes have a funny way of coming through. It might wind up being your 80th birthday and you get an instant lottery ticket and you've forgotten all about those cranes, and guess what? You scratch it, it's $1 million. But for keeping track of all 1,000, you're going to wind up doing 25 strings of 40 each. Now, I use red string. You're going to wind up taking a nice little needle and thread. Can barely see it, but yes, that's the point of a needle. At the bottom, take beads, work best. I got lucky. I had plenty of beads left over from hobbies years ago. Right up through the little crane's belly, out through the back, you impale the guy, and right on down. Now, this isn't like a birthday wish. You don't have to keep it secret. It's something you should be proud of, something that, hey, you're doing because it's in your heart. You can tell whoever the heck you want why you're making your cranes. For me, it's the reason I'm making my wish is for my ex-girlfriend's happiness. I could have said, oh, well, I wish she's back with me. That's not what I want. It's a matter of we could be back together and be completely miserable. That would not do any good. So I'm wishing for happiness no matter where she finds it. If you want to wish for a new car, that's great. Unfortunately, remember, hey, you might wind up wrecking the car you got, and that's how you get the new car. So always have a little bit of humor with your wish. Be cool about it. And intent is the main thing. A buddy of mine said, well, I think it's more about the intention of wanting to make the wish and wanting to make the cranes than actually making them. And yeah, to an extent that's true, but it's like making pasta. Let's say you're really hungry for pasta, you boil the water, well, you're halfway done with it, so is that good enough? Nah, not so much. Anyways, I hope you make it through all 1,000 cranes. I hope you do well. Believe in magic, believe in love, and may all your wishes come true.